pushing.
Yes, I've had. So
Big
the
ups.
first question I want to ask is how was Forex trading introduced to you?
To be honest, uh, I was actually looking for something that could get me out of my job very quickly, right? So there was a cousin of mine that was doing quite well for himself. He used to tell me that he was working for the bank. So because he told me something about investments, he's working for the bank, whatever, and I never bought it. So I wasn't sure if he's really doing Forex or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I ended up asking him. He introduced me to the whole thing, gave me some material. Yeah, and I just fell in love with Forex from then. Back then, it was a very different space. You see now on Instagram, like Forex is quite popular in the country, for good and bad reasons. Because as we know, there's a lot of scammers that scam people in the name of Forex, and there are people who are really doing a good thing. So nowadays, it's much easier for people to come into the space. But back then, it was a very, many people were skeptical and they didn't know about it. So it was like, what's Forex? But now, if you just tell someone doing Forex, they've probably heard about it or they know someone who's done it. So yeah, that's how I got introduced basically to Forex trading. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't.
How did you manage to become consistently profitable in the market? Because we all know that as a Forex trader, you go through a lot. You go through a lot of losses, you blow your accounts. It's very emotional. So how did you manage to deal with all of that and ended up being a successful trader that you are today?
Firstly, I'd like to start by saying I've also blown accounts, countless accounts.
Yes.
But then I knew that there was, consistent trading, profitable trading, because there are people who are honestly doing this, as a living. This is what they do. This is all they do. So, and I knew that the thing of depositing, let's say 2,000 Rand and making 20,000 in a day wasn't the way. That's not how the hedge funds do it and stuff, right? So, I just did some more research on risk management, right? Because that's where it lies. But more than the risk management, it's the psychological part of it. So there's this book that I read. I don't know if you guys know it. It's called Trading in the Zone. So if you guys have never read it, you can get it for free on the internet. It's actually a wonderful read. It will help you with understanding how the markets move, with understanding, how probabilities work and how you need to think basically as a trader, because you could know that you should risk 2% of your account on each trade, right? But then you still don't do it. You know that you shouldn't be doing this, but all the time you do that. People trade according to their problems and they don't follow, their rules. They get lucky. They feel lucky when they place a trade. I've heard a lot of people saying, no, this one is definitely going there. There's no such. There's no trade that's definitely going in your direction. It might have a higher probability of going there, but then no trader in the world can tell you that this trade is going there 100%. I'll just be straight. That's bullshit. It doesn't work like that. So you need to know how to think in probabilities, understand that you will not win all of your trades. Take each trade as just another try. Manage your risk on each and every trade. So even if you win 6 out of 10 trades, those 6 that win will probably give you, more profit than whatever you had risked on that trade. So yeah, the psychological part of it, knowing how the market moves, knowing what the market is. The market doesn't care about you, doesn't care about me, doesn't care about any trader. Yeah, it just does what it does when it wants to do it. So yeah, it's, to be honest, being a profitable trader is more simple than people think it is. It's just a change in mindset. More than the crap of risk this, do this, risk 1%. If you risk 1%, you'll never make any money, if we're being honest. If you're not going to deposit 1,000,000 Rand in your account and you telling me you started off with 10,000, you were risking 1%, and now you're a millionaire. That's crap. You're lying to us. There's no way. 1% is not going to make you money. Yeah. So deposit enough money in your account, risk a decent amount, let's say 3% of your account per trade. Don't overtrade.
Yes.
Things like that. That definitely help you in succeeding. Yeah.
Yes. But what would you say to a person who really doesn't have enough money? As you said, you need to have enough money, proper risk management. But if you don't have enough money and I only have 1,000 rand that I've been saving for the longest of times just so I can get into the markets, what would you suggest that I do as a beginner? Do you think that I should scalp so that I can grow the accounts, or do you think I can swing it if I'm a new trader?
Okay. Let me put it this way. Okay. Firstly, let's. Are we assuming that this person now knows how to trade, or they just purely a
No,
beginner?
you're a beginner, you start, it's your first real account, you've been trading demo, because a lot of people, yes, when you're trading a demo account, it's practice, but there's no psychological things involved. You're not going to be
True.
there risking 1%, 2%. You're going to risk a lot more because it's not real money, it's virtual. So when you start putting in real money, then that's when the whole psychological thing starts to play in. That's when you feel the heat, because you know that this is real money that I'm playing with. So what would you say to a person who's a beginner but who's been trading a demo account?
Okay. From what I understand, with what you're telling me, is that this person has probably been for a course, or they studied Forex, whatever, or YouTube, whatever they did, but then
Yes.
they understand
Yes.
something about it. Now they want to go live. Firstly, if you have 1,000 rand, I tell you to save it. Like it's pointless. You can trust me. I've seen people do it. I've done it myself. You can put in 1,000 bucks, and you can place two Nasdaq trades. You can flip that 1,000 to 4,000 or 5,000, but then that's not what trading really is about. That's not real trading. There's different types of trading. And if you tell me you're going to be swinging 1,000 bucks, and you want to do it the right way, it doesn't exist. Now let's look at it like
Mm.
this. If if I risk 3% of my account per trade, 3% of 1,000 rand would be 3 rand, if I'm correct, or yeah, 30 rand, right?
Mm.
And then
Yes.
now, if it's 30 rand, the lowest volume you can take with the 1,000 rand would be 0.01. That's like what, 1 rand per pip or more. So 30 pips against you,
Yes.
you're already hitting stop loss. And having a stop loss of 30 pips on each and every trade, depending on your strategy, isn't practical. My average stop loss is about 90 to 100 pips. So it may differ,
Yes.
maybe more, some trades, maybe a bit less, but the average is 90 to 100 pips. So what I'd suggest is don't start with anything less than, let's say, $300. And then on $300, take 0.01 on that account. And then once you reach
Yes.
$600, you can move to 0.02. Things like
Yes.
that. Now, that's the right way of trading, that you're not blowing accounts. That way, you can also build a track record for yourself. And even if you need to sell that track record now to get funding from a person, you show them that, listen, I didn't have money. I started last year with $300. During the year, I was able to grow it to $1,000. Those are great numbers if you're thinking in percentages, not in money, because that's how people need to think. Don't think that I made 10,000 or 2 rand. 2 rand from what? Because 2 rand, probably if you started with 50 cents, 2 rand, if you make 2 rand, that's like 150% profit. If you understand what I'm saying, right? So
Yes.
just do things the right way. That's what I'd say. Do things the right way. If you want to trade like the hedge funds trade, the proper volume. It's not about making a lot of money. It's about following your rules until it gets there. Once you get to a point where you have 500,000 in your account, 500,000 rand, and you're doing
Yes.
the exact same thing, then maybe you can start supplementing your lifestyle. We all have different lifestyles. We all have different amounts that we need to supplement our lifestyle. So yeah, it just needs to make sense. If you're gonna tell me you started off with 1,000 bucks, or you want to start off with 1,000 bucks, just put it aside. Maybe wait until you have $300, and then yeah, just do it gradually, 0.01. Get more comfortable, and then the money will come eventually. First the skill, first getting comfortable, and then the money will come.
So
I
how
don't, I
do you
don't
handle greed in the market? because it's real. How do you handle greed in the market, especially when you have like a bigger account? How do you handle it?
When you have what? A bigger account.
A bigger account, yes.
Okay. For me, it's quite simple. It boils down to the same thing I explained. I have a set of rules, right? My rules will entail what I need to look for in the market, meaning that certain pattern or whatever that will tell me to buy or sell. That's one.
Mm,
And then secondly, does my risk management make sense on that trade? And then
mm,
if it does, I take the trade. So I'll never
yeah.
be in a position where maybe I'll be over trading or whatever because now that's against my rules. All I do is I just trade like a robot. I just follow these rules, no emotions. There's nothing. I've burnt enough to know that me having a problem, if I need, let's say, 400,000 next week, and I'm trying to make it now from 100,000 or whatever, it could go both ways. You could blow it, or you could win it. So I think of this. This is my life. This has been my career, right? If I have built up, let's say, a portfolio now of, let's just say, 2 million rand, I'm not going to potentially risk losing the whole 2 million rand to potentially make 20 million rand. I'd rather make
Mm.
200,000 from that 20 million, sort of guaranteed based on my history every single month, than risk it to, win big like the lotto. So uh, I think straight. I think like a business. I treat trading as a business. So there's certain rules. I'm very disciplined. I'm strict, and just follow those rules. That's all. There's no other way. It's just having rules, following them, and
Yes.
and
And I feel like
like
yeah.
I wanted to say again, you you can't really be greedy if you know if you say you now understand the markets, how they work, how they move. Then being greedy is sort of dumb. You're contradicting yourself. Then it means you haven't fully accepted what the market really is. If you are still greedy and doing the same mistakes,
So
yeah.
nowadays, a lot of people in the market want to make money real quickly. And I feel like ever since NASDAQ is a thing now, like everybody's trading NASDAQ, everybody's trading US 30. A lot of beginners see NASDAQ as this thing to make money really quickly, not understanding that the markets are very volatile and it's easy to blow. So would you suggest that new traders start off with indices, or they should really start with currency pairs just so they can, be consistent in the market, know their plan before thinking of trading markets that are really volatile like Nasdaq and US 30, gold, and all of
Yeah.
those.
Uh, okay. Firstly, you need to have a conversation with yourself as a beginner that what is your personality, one.
Mm,
Secondly, how much money do you have to play with, to put into the market and find out how it's going to go? So if you are a patient person or fairly patient person, and you probably don't even have that much money to start with, let's say you only have $300 or so, and you're not sure when you get your next $300 if you blow this one, then I definitely
mm,
say start with currencies because that will go with your budget, and that will also go with the type of person you are. You're not too, you're not trying to make a quick buck. Yes, you want money, but you understand this is how much you have. You're not willing to lose all of it, and you're a bit patient.
mm,
However, if I'm a beginner and I can get, let's say, I can start off with 100,000 rand, and I'm not patient at all, then I can go for indices. It's not wrong as long as you're doing the same thing, following your rules while you're trading indices. Then it will also work for you. It's all about following your rules, calculating your risk properly, using the correct lot sizes and stuff. Then it'll work for you. So that's why I said just depends on how much you have and your personality. Because honestly, some people are not patient people, and sometimes you can't force yourself to be patient. You need to know what excites you, and then do that.
yeah, yes. No, I completely understand. I just want you to answer this question from Yanga. I think it's a guy. He said, Sean, is it true that the uh brokers, is it possible that brokers manipulate the markets to benefit their own ends? And if yes, how do people avoid it? Is market
Uh,
manipulation real? Or is it just FOMO? Like you enter too early, or is it
okay.
real?
For most people, it is. It's just an idea. It's just what they've heard other traders say. A person will
Say,
lose on that trade, and then they blame you or the broker manipulated the market, whatever. Because I've been in situations where I took the exact same trade as certain people, and I I took that as just the market doing what it does, but they felt like there was some, foul play.
yeah,
So what I'll say most of the time, it's just people don't know what they're talking about most of the time, honestly, but they talk. So and those who talk a lot most of the time don't even know what they're talking about. So, but what I can say is this: market manipulation is possible, right? It can happen, and how do you avoid it? Is you need to find a reputable broker, a trusted broker, because there's nothing you can do from your MC4 to avoid market manipulation. They can manipulate the market in many different ways. There could be order delays. By the time you press buy, maybe it's during news events. By the time you press buy or sell, it won't execute immediately. It will probably tell you, I think it says, is it order filled, whatever, it just makes that sound and then your trade doesn't go through. And when you click again, the market has now moved. So that was manipulating the market in a way. It's not necessarily that they made the market move, just that they delayed your order.
yeah,
So they can also manipulate the market in terms of pricing here and there. There are a few tricks that brokers can use, but then the most important thing, like I said, you as a trader, you can't avoid it. The only way you can avoid it is not going to that broker. You see, so do your research, um, trade with them, get the feel of them before you put in probably all of your money, and then yeah. But it is real. But most of the time, people are just whenever they say it's market manipulation, 9 out of 10 times it really isn't because they don't even understand what market manipulation is. Yeah,
yeah.
that's my take, my 2 cents.
I completely understand. As I said, Sean,
Oh my
my network is
Dagwa,
very
Dr.
bad,
Mark.
and I really have to cut our session short because I'm scared it might, start cutting off again, and I won't be able to save our chats. So, in closing, what words of encouragement do you have to share with all my new traders, people who are struggling in the market? What would you say to them to just give them that sense of hope that you know what, it is possible, regardless of the fact that you're going through losses, it will work out.
Yeah. So, uh, really, it's simple. It's simple, guys, and it's just simple. Just follow the rules and you make it. But now, if your set of rules is wrong, then doing a wrong thing a million times won't make it right. That's what people need to remember. So if you keep using the wrong lot size and you keep blowing accounts, and now you're trying to recover that money by using higher lot sizes and depositing more money, but doing the same mistake, then nothing will change because you're doing the exact same mistake over and over and over again. So that means now you need to relook your trading system, whatever you believe should work or is working for you, and just find what really works, right? So, excuse me, with mentors, what I've always said before, if one, you can't just play finder with Forex. It doesn't work. You don't find Forex. You don't just figure it out over the way. The easiest thing to do, there's a lot of people on social media. Just go through whoever you feel like um, suits your style, your personality, whatever, that mentor. Speak to them, tell them, hey, teach me what you know. But before that, also ask for validating stuff. Like you can ask them for their track record, for instance, maybe for the past 6 months, for the past 12 months. I don't think it should be a problem for them to show you. Maybe they might tell you that it's private, confidential, or something, but yeah, I don't know. I personally, I wouldn't have a problem with showing people that. That's the only thing that will sort of tell you if this person can trade and can trade consistently. Because now, if I'm playing, I do it sometimes. I deposit 10 grand into Nasdaq. I take a couple of trades, high risk, and I'm willing to lose that 10 grand. Probably I'll lose 10 grand, and then on the fifth one, I'll make 100 grand from the very same 10 grand. So I've still made 50 on that. But not everyone has that amount of money to play with, and that's the biggest thing. Don't fall into the trap of taking everything you have right now and risking all of that. If you understand what I'm saying. So if you only have, let's say, like $300 right now, play it according to your $300, 0.01. Try growing that to 600. Get confident, and then from there you can move on. Now, even if you want to in future take, let's say, a loan for your trading, you at least have a check record that the past 6 months, this is what I did. So now, if I had $300, now I deposit $30,000 and follow the exact same set of rules, then it should work out, right? You should get the same results, in theory. So, yeah, just rules, follow your rules, have proper risk management, also have a strategy that works, because you could have good risk management. If your strategy doesn't work, then it doesn't work, right? And a good strategy doesn't have to be winning 90% of the time. Personally, I don't think that's possible. I've heard people saying they win 95% of the time. I still say bullshit. There's no, from my understanding, there's no such. If it's 60% of the time, 70% of the time, that's quite decent. And also, when you're calculating your probability of your winning probability, it needs to be a decent number. Let's say 300 trades or so. You can't place 10 trades this month, win all 10 trades, and then you say you win 100% of the time. That's too little a number to calculate probability or to base anything on. You need to have many tries to see, can you do this over and over again, right? If you can place 300 trades and win 90% of it, then yes, you can say, I win 90% of the time, right? So guys, rules, risk management, proper strategy, and then more than anything, you can have these things written down. If you're not going to follow it, it's not going to work. So, and follow it. Just have discipline. It's not a get rich quick scheme. It will work eventually. You do need money. Unfortunately, people don't want to hear this. They think they can just put in 2K and it's miracles. You do need money to make money. You can start with whatever you have, but your money will grow according to that. We've heard of stories of people depositing 4,000 and making $1 million. Probably is possible, but it won't happen for everyone. So please, just follow the rules. It's just a rules game, guys. Rules, discipline, that's it. It's simple.
Anyway, thank you very much, Shaun, for joining my live today. It was such an honor having you, and hopefully all my traders, got to learn something from you. And a lot of people think that I'm a mentor. Honestly, I'm not. And if you need a mentor, Benjamin Forex Academy live here today. Feel free, talk to him. He's a humbled person, and I'm sure he will do a better job. He will do a better job. He's been doing a good job. And so, guys, I hope you enjoyed my live. Thank you very much for joining me, Shaun.
Thank you for having me. Cheers.
Okay, have a good one.
You too. Bye-bye.